So it's about learning the energy dynamics of woman. What are we? How do we function as beings with an energy of light into compressed matter? What do we do with that? Fascinating. So I'm going to attempt to share a screen here. Chrome tab. And that will be that one. Share. Now, this is an important, can you see this okay?
Yes.
Good. This diagram here, okay, is really important. So it shows and demonstrates the connections that we can build in terms of being dependent on humans for energies and how they connect in the body. So you can see where it says, take care of me. These are core issues here, right? So when we meet someone, we start taking on and connecting, having these energies. If it's a physical thing, there may be a sexual charge. But look here in the center, tell me what to do. So there's a level of control here. Love me from my heart, there, heart to heart. Say you love me from there. You know, that's quite to the throat. So it's this connection between the two.
Yeah.
The thoughts anyway. So when you are moving the energy body with those thoughts, you're creating a signal, a connection, an energetic cord, a signal. So I thought that was great to just explain very simply how these cords are met from one energetic being to another. Okay, so I'm just going to share another screen. Just bear with me a moment. And that is that one, I think. Here we go. So,
wow.
Right. So here we have the soul at the top, the light coming in, the soul or casual lotus. That's a very nice word. And this is your divinity, greater causal body, and they're all linked here. Excuse me. So this consciousness thread, or Antakarana, the rainbow bridge, is connected through the permanent atoms and crown chakra to the etheric brain. So you can see how many bodies we've got here. I'm just going to bring that out of it because that complicates things, because we're here. We are the condensed physical matter here. Mental heart chakra, emotional heart chakra, etheric heart chakra. So you've got a lot of activity just happening in this place alone, right? So when you meet somebody from a past life, okay, your etheric chakra, heart chakra there, begins to activate into your DNA, and you begin to remember things, and it sparks off a whole chemical reaction in your central nervous system and your endocrine system. Okay, so, you know, you can imagine that part alone, the remembrance of the past. Okay, so, and then it might create an emotional feeling, as we just talked about, a chemical reaction, which will cause a thought process, a mental thought about that individual or being. So, in essence, you're transmitting that here throughout your causal body, your mental body, these 4 layers around you, your emotional body, right? So you can see how here we begin to cause emotions by the predominant way that we think. And then eventually that permeates to the physical body, the skin suit technology. Okay, so you've got this whole resonant action that's taking place. So, you know, so when we oh wait, no, I've got to unshare the screen. So when you go from that, so you can see quite clearly how you function there, right? On all those levels. So the next screen I'm going to show you is Not that one. Not that one.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. So I'm just going to just bring this back to this one actually for the moment.
I was thinking
Mm.
to make all this thing about the skinniness and all this energy connected with that kind of image, for example, with that energy that you receive, like you
Mm.
said. So
Mm-hmm.
I just coming to my mind
Mm-hmm.
how it's possible, for example, when we have this code, package code of programs from galactic codes, yeah.
Yeah. We
The
receive them up
moment
here.
that we take body, we
Mhm.
connected with that.
Yes. So when you connect with the galactic codes from here and you're receiving them into your body, into here, it is activating your DNA.
Exactly.
So,
Until the
what,
conception, of course.
yes. So, what I want, what the purpose of this diagram was to get people to have an awareness of how they're functioning. So, when you have a thought, an atom, a quantum atom, operating in this space that is the physical, but it is also light, those thoughts are sent out a bit like this, a bit like that one we had before. Let me just get that one back.
Wow.
Is that one? Yeah, this one. So now this is a pleasant diagram. It's not terrible, but it reeks of dependency. So if you have a man over here having a sexual thought connected to their system on as per diagram that we've just seen, you can see how that thought is sent out into that universe up through his transmitter or down through that transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
So that chakra energy center there is going to be thinking, oh, have sex with me. Oh, I'd love that. Oh, I want to shag you. I want to have sex with you. Blah, 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 blah. And then that acts as an energetic cord all the way to the woman's womb,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
Now, an example about this in particular, which is particularly relevant to me this week, I recently advertised a workshop for the reconnection of the masculine. And what this is to do with is looking at how and where men store their energies and frequencies. Let me just go back to this diagram again. So if a man is storing negative, darker, lower, angry, frustrated frequencies here, that will emanate from that area. But it will also cause emotional disconnection at this point because there will be imbalance. The relationships will be imbalanced. The emotions will be imbalanced. So tell me what to do. So there's control here, control issues in those lower chakras. So the act of a sexual liaison or thought or a rape or some kind of sexual behavior that isn't sacred necessarily, these connections and bonds begin to form on the feminine form. Now, this is an area here that I'm pointing to because it's particularly relevant, right? So I'm just going to use her as an example of something that happened to me that I didn't get to finish because I was down here in this zone. Okay, so up here, somebody is having a negative shadow thought, and that's a nasty thought, such as you bitch, you bastard. It's a swear word, it's negative intent. I hate, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, because all of these are connected as per previous diagram. So those thoughts become a physical emanation from the brain, from the neural unit to the thought of another. Now, this actually happened to me the other day advertising this workshop. At some point, somebody saw it and they were really angry and hateful, but about what they were doing. About what I was doing, I don't know, just angry and hateful, shadow side. This thought transferred out of here and splattered in my energy field, right? And I'm pretty hygienic. I know what's coming in, I know what's coming out, right? As per that previous diagram. So you can begin to see how these energetic links, if you're a woman throughout your life and you've had negative male attention in any way, shape, or form into your physical via a thought process, and this can be vice versa. It's not just all about the man, it's the woman here as well, who may also go through similar thought processes. So if you can imagine that over a 20, 30-year time period of Freudian time of age, then you can begin to see how these things can really build up in our energetics. Okay?
Yeah. Yes,
what we get is a concentration of negative psychic data within our frequency and fields. Now, if people don't regularly clear this, then what's this one? No. Then it can cause problems. So once you begin to receive these thoughts and connections and you begin to store them in the physical body, they begin to manifest as some sort of condition, whatever is specific to you. But in women in particular, it creates blockages in this area. Because when it comes to sex, relationships, and emotions, it's all stored down here. And you can notice this by the shape of women. Okay, so we store all our unprocessed baggage as females in the stomach, obviously, because we're faced with all kinds of different energies, psychic energies, and anything else that might be coming in. Could be Wi-Fi, could be something else. But here is particularly key. So we have the root connection. So if someone is having a sexual thought about you, they will develop a connection to your root chakra. So what that means, if they are unconscious, that energy is coming right the way in to your root. Now, this can be destabilizing because it's destabilizing all of this. And you're not going to have the fullness of all this because you're blocked in this area. Now, what are the common symptoms of this? How does it manifest? Hip ache. Also within the bones, there can be issues. There's also problems with tissue, menstruation, polycystic ovaries. There's all kinds of medical conditions that indicate that women carry the impacts of emotional transference, their own emotions in the womb, because these are the parts that ache the most. So you begin to see a picture about how energies, discord, negative connections can affect us very physically. So when you have a heart connection with someone, it's a positive connection. Okay, so it's not dependent on all those other things, such as let's just find this one again. Yeah, so you're not receiving love. Love me, that's a dependent one, but I'm just using this diagram to explain a positive connection, not a negative one. So if it's positive, there will be that connection there, but also, which it doesn't show, there'll be a connection up here, a soul connection, which is very, very different to the one that you get down here. Here, you are independent. Up here, up above at the soul level. Okay, so if you are not operating from up here, from soul, higher self, and you are continually down here, it's going to steal your energy. Okay, because of those connections bouncing back and forth. So, what are some of the things that we can do about this? Because these thought processes are really strong. Okay, and oh, I'm on the wrong page. But also, they're really harmful on an energetic level. Lost Rocio. So, what happens is that we begin to become more sore, we can't move, we lose our functionality as beings. So, hello, let me just add you in. So, when we look at it from this perspective, right, okay, how many negative connections do I have? How many? How many people do I talk to that maybe have a fleeting sexual thought with you in mind as a woman? Chances are it happens all day long. So when a man looks at a woman, he's fixating on her, either positively or negatively. Either way, we're going to feel that. And it's going to affect us on some way, shape, or form, unless we take specific action on how to deal with that. So, how do we become clean from these processes? Rocio, what would you say about negative cord attachments? What would you say is a really effective way of clearing your spirit attachment to somebody that maybe tries to come and connect into your field?
Well, this is very interesting question because sometimes, no, not all the time, of course, but depends who is the people that we are living with, and we decide if, for example, we met somebody, some guy in this case, because it's more common. We met some guy, and we noticed that there is something weird, and that even when he approached to us, we feel weird. We feel that he's doing invasion to our space. Yeah, that he can want to control our time, how we dressing, how if we make up or no make up, all that stuff. Friend, the friends, or if our time, all that things. There are signs that we are with somebody that will try to absorb our energy in different ways. So this is very important to watch the signs, the alerts, right? When we met somebody. So, how to clean these things? Well, sometimes the first thing is to recognize that that person, even we are in love with, yeah, is tried or is absorbed our energy in different ways. When we recognize this, yes, there are, in tradition at least, there are some kind of ceremonies, and these ceremonies are made with fire, because remember that fire transmute, transform one energy to the other, and in this case transform the energy that usually was contaminated or toxic, yeah, in another kind of energy. And these ceremonies that we can do, for example, help us to first to visualize your energy in the other person and bring it back, like
Cleansed,
umbilical thing. Yeah,
cleansed. Or I'm going to recommend something here:
yeah,
fire. The
yeah,
visualization of fire burning back those connections. And then as you do that, I mean, it's just simple visualization, your body begins to respond to that. And suddenly you feel incredible relief.
Oh yeah, supposedly. And if you are recovering your own energy that is in the other person, is good, because in the end it's your energy that he was taking or she is taking from the other person, right? So this is a very good recommendation, yeah. But we need to do something, because sometimes we say no, maybe it doesn't work. Well, if we don't do it, remember that that energy is with the other person, and spend 7 years to clarify by natural way this energy. So we don't want to spend waiting 7 years, right? We need to do something, right? Yeah, can you imagine 7 years? So the men, from each woman that they have sex, they bring in this energy to them. Yeah, and they have a collection, right, of different
Yeah, it
energies.
is
Yeah,
true. It is true. So the
literal.
woman begins to adopt the character of the male energy.
Oh yeah, yes, because it's
And
like he, uh
yeah, go on.
it's like he feeds you through this umbilical thing, cordon. Yeah, he feeds you in some way,
Mm-hmm.
and happened to me once upon a time, long time ago.
Happened to us all.
Yeah, happened in the way that I didn't was Rocio. I was Rocio from somebody,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah,
like,
I
oh
do
my
know. I
god,
do know. And it's
even
such
physical, like you say.
yeah, you begin to say their words.
Exactly. So what is that? Is recover ourselves, our energy. Sorry, this is my energy. Coming back.
Totally.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I'll have it back, please, but purified.
Yeah. Oh yes. I don't want contaminated,
Yeah,
right?
but
With other energies, of course.
and it's just becoming aware of energy dynamics and how we function with everybody else. Because I've got to say, I do not want to walk out there and walk past a load of people connecting in. So you can, you become aware of what's coming at you at very subtle levels.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So, one of the problems is with women understanding the function of their wombs is that we've had that information disconnected.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
there were times where we had that sacred awareness of our wombs, and it would be able to naturally transmute the male energies coming into the female form.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but when we were child, nobody tell us nothing like this.
No.
But hopefully, at least in my country and here in the circle of women, they are doing the red carpet. That means that they uh, call to all the young ladies, young
Hmm.
kids,
Hmm.
11, 12, 13, yeah, and they explained what happened in all the process to become now and more in the next step, with the period of the menstruation, what happened there with the energy, yeah, and what happened if they don't take care of themselves, and what happened if by accident or whatever happen other things. So this is very interesting that we take care of our kids, our girls, yeah, young girls, and
Yeah.
tell them what is this about it. And in that way, they will be more careful, I believe.
Yeah, it's true because we're not given the full picture on how to handle our wounds. We don't have the understanding. So
Yeah,
one of the things is that if we had a strong understanding, inner connection at a very, very core level, our experiences are going to be very different. Now, in this area of the femur, the hips, the saddle, the sitting saddle, derriere, backside, you've got your femur. Okay, so that's one of your biggest blood producing, bone marrow producing areas within those bones. Okay, so you can imagine your blood being imprinted with the energy that you receive and unable to transmute into your system directly. And it's a question of infusion of energies. So if you have a weak womb, you haven't had an understanding, an awareness, a connection to it, then you're not going to understand what energies are coming in, literally coming into your body.
Yeah, yeah.
I say that, and I'm not being gross or rude, but it literally is that, as visceral as that. Yeah. So one of the other things that manifests from the heavy use, maybe sometimes we use that area a lot, sometimes we don't, is the flow of the monthly cycle. Okay, so if we have dense energies, frequencies held within the womb itself, our cycles are going to be really painful. It's going to have a knock-on effect onto our central nervous system and endocrine system, which is going to create hormonal imbalance, all sorts of issues in the blood as we try to expel those energies. Some people might have huge hormone fluctuations. They might get acne on their faces because it's toxic energy trying to leave the body and it can't. It doesn't have a way out. So this is an area that women need to be notified about and educated about, which is part of the program of what we'll be doing in our women's work centres, is providing this information for women to understand how their bodies function so that they can take the relevant measures to protect themselves, not just on a physical level, but on an emotional and energetic level, just like this energy diagram here. You know, if this is all functioning, everything's working, then we're going to be able to receive more of that right in, straight down here, straight into the earth, because we're all connected to earth as well. So just even engaging in a principle of maybe cleaning the area, maybe having a steam or in that area for your vagina and your womb to be clear and cleansed, to purify yourself from the energies and frequencies that you allow into your body. And it's simple common sense, okay? You wouldn't throw, I'm going to use a very freaky analogy here, you wouldn't throw and fill up a sink with washing up and just leave it there and walk away. If you ran the tap, how would that flow through a sink full of dishes? The water wouldn't be able to escape properly, leaving a whole lot of residue at the bottom of the sink. Crazy. So, why do we think of ourselves as being so invaluable, or don't want to engage with oneself in those areas? This is key. This is absolutely key to the good womb health for a woman, because that means she'll carry healthier pregnancies. The child in utero will be happier because it's not being surrounded by the frequencies of men.
Yeah, interesting.
Very practical kind of thing. So in my work over the years, working with women in their wombs, 3 things keep coming back: hips, heart, womb. And it's all down to the relationships that we have. So and those are the most intimate relationships that we have as women, that are often taken for granted because those relationships have been such an important part of society. So it's really, to me, a subject close to my heart, because when you have a clear, that I'm going to repeat this, a clear womb area, hips, your blood is flowing, contract free, emotion free, and engaging in peace, then you begin to have this galactic and universal experience, because we are that. We are that light coming into the body. So when you have a full connection to your womb, it illuminates your creativity.
Yeah, of course. Everything is connected, right? In our
Ex-
body, all the energy is connected one thing to the other. That's true.
Exactly. So when you're receiving your cosmic frequency from up above in the purest possible way, and it's engaging down below into the womb to the root of your experience, this energy not only carries to your dream world, so your dream world becomes clearer, you become more effective in your sleep, and this is what we're going to be seeing more of, but also you begin to create, because you're a creatress being. You are a female being who has the ability to create with Earth through your physical skin suit technology, with your womb connected to your heart, your not non-suppressed voice, your sight, and the light that you are. And then you become fully operational, acting and being, functioning at optimum levels as a woman. So when you take that to the next level, once you start addressing the issues within, you become clearer in your energetics. Here, around here is going to shift, and you're going to be less likely to accept what is coming in from external places. Usually the projections coming in from men or women, whatever, whoever, coming in that affect your soul here. Absolutely fascinating. So this is why I feel so passionate about women's work. I really do,
Yeah,
because this is where it's at in terms of understanding what our technology is, how it functions, and what we can use it for to create the best existence for us, our families, and our communities.
yeah. And
This
it's, uh-huh,
energy woman.
yeah. And
Sorry.
I see, no, it's just that coming to my mind in this moment when I was talking about this torment year that is about clarify, clean, yes, um, purify ourselves. This is one of the things that we need to do, like women, you know,
Yeah,
exactly. This is clarify, um, purify, and clean our body from the energy that is not useful anymore. Yeah, it's that kind of energy that is not useful anymore. You know, especially when you have a break or you are not with that partner anymore. What do you want that energy there, right?
exactly.
And it's part of these things. This is a connection. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yes, it's very interesting, and it's a homework that we have to do. All of women,
Yes.
because before it's not usual that we talk about these things very open, even in through the internet or whatever. But now that we have the information, we can do it. We can
So,
clean it. Yeah,
because there is a certain level of shame
yeah,
attached to
it
it.
is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it very often results in how we feel about ourselves as women, but also, being shameful about being you, being shameful about being a woman, being sexual, or there's been some sort of sexual trauma that brings shame because you don't like the way you've behaved, etc. I mean, it's a whole picture because everybody's different.
Sure. Yeah, and I say, that's good thing that right now I see in different parts, at least in Mexico, that now the grandmothers or the mothers, they are taking care the kids, the daughters, just telling me this information that is very useful for the lives.
Mm,
Yeah.
absolutely, because when we're functioning here, the tri-heart center, the clearer we are here, the higher volume of this
Yeah.
we can bring into here. So
Sure.
it's having a clear mind, a clear process, a clear expression, clear emotions and lower chakras, so you can ground this energy in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. You know,
Yes.
the more we are this, then we've done the journey, what we came here to do, because we need to embody this directly into here, into the core structure of our light body dynamics.
Exactly.
Cool. I get really happy about talking about that. I'm like, "Ooh, that sounds
Oh yeah.
mm,
And like you said, it will be very useful for our kids. Yeah.
mm, mm,
For
yeah,
the daughters, for the young women that still they are in the process to wake up to the sexual life or all that things. They will be very useful because they will be take care. Yes. And
yes.
this is very important.
It
Very
is.
important.
Saging and using Kapal, some sort of intentional process. Can you
Yeah.
describe some of those processes?
Yeah.
Can you describe some of those processes?
About the
The cleaning with the Kapal or the sage or
oh
some
well
sort of
yeah,
way, use
yeah.
your hands.
For example, the copal and other incense, yes, we can use it in the external way. I mean, the connection with your external energy with the external energy of other people, you know, just where we can clean with this medicinal incense, you know. But for inside, there are another kind of baths, steam, yeah, that we can put as, I don't know, a special container, yes, with water and put the tea of the medicinal herbs, yes, and putting under your between your legs under in the way that this steam going up to your intimacy parts, you know, and it's the way to cleaning the energy inside. And the other general way is the temazcal, of course. Yes, we are using special herbs in the way that we breathe and all from all your body, yeah, you receive it from your pores, open your pores, and you're receiving that steam. So this is the more usual ways, and this is the process that you can do it. Of course, you can do it both. You can do it the steam in your intimacy parts and the temazcal. That will be complementary. And of course, there is the copal that is around you that clean your energy outside. Yeah, your body's outside. So this is more or less the process. And of course, in your mind always, because it helps a lot, always think about it. What are you doing? Be conscious. What are you doing for these activities? You know, because if you are doing and you're thinking in another things, it's not working, right? But we need to focus with our conscious, upper conscious, doing this process in the way that works in the better way. You know,
Mm,
this is exactly what for and how to do it in tradition ways. You know,
yeah,
they are different. Yeah,
yeah, it's
and
beautiful. What it teaches us is to become more careful with our very intimate parts in terms of, even using chemicals. But an old-fashioned remedy that is particularly effective is the poultice, the sage poultice. So you would get a bunch of sage, not dried, wet, undried sage as a
yeah,
plant. You
yeah,
chop it in finely, so you've got all the liquid, everything, and then you would place it on top of an organic cotton pad. Okay, and you can just put that in your pants, knickers, whatever, and just wear it as a pad, but ensuring that the sage touches the skin at the entrance of the vagina, right? So that with your own body's warmth is releasing those clearing plant-based chemicals into the body that create a cleansing effect of the womb.